And when I first like started making this kind of money, I went out, I bought Corvettes, I bought big Jeeps, I bought big gold chains and Rolexes, and
Yeah, yeah,
took my wife on crazy vacations. I mean, I did so much stuff, and I did a lot of charity stuff too, but I felt like I was still missing out on, doing some good, and I wanted to find a way that I could reach directly into the communities. Like when I sat down and decided to do that roof for these people, I was like bursting with pride. I mean, I
yeah.
felt like, it was like God was showing me, like God's telling me, like, this is what you should be doing.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Q Edmonds. And you know what I'm going to say? I'm excited to be here. Excited about my guests. Oh, this gentleman right here. Listen, this gentleman has 4 generations of roofing experience rushing through his veins. So much so that he's dominated his market pretty much. This guy is an expert in the industry of roofing. He has a vault full of people that he can go to whenever there's a problem, but it seems like there's not too much of a problem too big that he can't solve. And listen, I'm pumping him up, but watch when he start talking, when he start telling you about what he's doing, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. And so I'm going to introduce you guys to Mr. Jason Blair. Mr. Jason, how you doing today, sir?
Doing awesome. Thanks for having me on.
Man, so excited to have you here, man. And listen, I'll be honest with you, I want us to dive in. I want you to take us into your world, man. Tell us what your main focus is these days. If you want to tell us a little bit of an origin story, we love origin stories. So if you want to tell us how you got started, we would love to hear that. And then tell them where you're from, man. I was going to shout it out, but I'm going to let you do it yourself, man. Tell them where you're from. So yeah, man, the floor is yours, man. Talk to us and tell us about what you do, sir.
Well, like you said, we are 4 generations into this roofing tradition thing, and I'm actually the first one of my family to start a roofing company. So I don't come from roofing contractors. I come from actually a family of roofers, and my whole family is roofers. And as I told you the story, it's a lot of people find it humorous when I tell this story. But when I was in high school, my parents got divorced. My father was a roofer. My grandfather was a roofer, and my mom and dad got divorced, and she actually married another roofer whose father was a roofer. So it was very, like, roofing was in my blood. So I don't know if I'm actually cursed, but, I didn't really want to be a roofer to start. I really tried hard to stay out of the industry as a young man, because my family, basically, since you were like 12 or 13 years old, you'd be on roofs working on the weekends and stuff.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Helping out with side jobs and things like that. So as a prepubescent teen, I realized real young I did not want to do roofing. But because it was so ingrained in my DNA, it was very hard to stay away from it. So probably by the time I was 20, early 20s, I mean, probably right around 20 years old, I was a full-time roofer. And I come from Detroit, so we're in South Florida now, but that journey started in Detroit, Michigan.
I love it, man. Listen, you said you're the first one to start the business. Listen, you said I'm gonna work. I'm a hard worker, but I'm gonna work smarter, not harder. Like I'm gonna set up the business, and that's beautiful, man. And so building that business, I know you had ton of experience that was in your ear, but now that the business is here, you're dominating. What have you identified as some of the key strategies that kind of keep that machine running smoothly?
Well, I think quality product and customer service are key. The roofing industry is very difficult. Not just roofing, but any service industry is very difficult. And you'll find this out very quickly when you need a project done around your house and you try to start calling people to get it done. It's very difficult to find high level service. And I really feel like that's kind of what has set us apart from the beginning. I never really wanted to be the cheapest guy. I really just wanted to focus and concentrate on putting out craftsmanship, having the highest trained, qualified technicians out in the field working for me. And, I was lucky enough because I was in the industry, I could recruit these guys, but also um, treating our team like partners. As we were just speaking about this before the interview, is really feel that's because I've come up in the industry and I've had every position in roofing, from helper to foreman to repair guy to technician to salesperson to manager. I mean, every step of the way I've had that job, and I think it's basically giving me a very rare introspective into the industry on not just how to manage people and teams, but how to get jobs done and how to deal with customers, things like that. And I was just talking with one of my guys. I still get out on the roof a lot, not to work, but kind of rub elbows with the guys in the field just to try to keep my finger on that pulse. But I was just talking with one of the guys today about, why why I'm better than him. And I'm not saying that braggadociously. I'm just like, roofing is such a tricky thing. Like when you're on the roof working and your face is buried in that roof, if you don't have the ability to go see a job that's 10 years old or see how other people have done things and how they've succeeded and failed over time, if you haven't dealt with customers, you can't, it's such a gambit in roofing that you have to know all this stuff. And even within our team, the first few years, you're building the company, you're hitting 1 million, 2 million, $3 million in revenue. That's all great. And you can do that with a very small team, but very quickly, once you surpass like 5, 6, $7 million in revenue, now it takes systems and training and processes. And there is no more kind of flying by the seat of your pants and doing things on the fly. All that kind of disappears once you get once you start approaching the $10 million mark. So, for us, like the strategies that have worked best is just being, giving quality and having proper supervision, having the right guys on the job, implementing the newest technologies into our business, not just AI, but other platforms that help our team be better at their job. And I think from day one, giving your team the tools that are necessary to be successful. I think a lot of guys want their team to produce at a high level, but they won't give them the proper tools or environment to do so. So that's definitely.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
extremely important to make sure that you can, like, you can't fly like an eagle if you're surrounded by turkeys,
Yeah.
so, you know,
Yeah.
if you're gonna create an environment, that's non-conducive for you guys to be successful, and then you can't expect them to be successful.
Yeah. Yeah. I wrote it down when you said it, man. Treat the team like partners. Like, I love that. But I also love how you said, and you were just being honest, like, hey, I'm better than you because I got more experience than you, right? Like, and sometimes you got to call on that experience to see, like you said, a job that's 10 years, packing the fashion just to be able to see what needs to be done, how can we improve. And so I actually want to call on that experience a little bit because, of course, you built a successful business and, we talked about the success, but I want to call on the experience to talk a little bit about the journey to the success, right? And so I know you know this. There are times when things get real, deals go sideways, times you have to pivot fast. And I just wanted to know if you, because you have the experience, if you can share moments with our audience about times when you was working your way to the success. Things wasn't always the way that you wanted it to be. And I was just wondering, maybe if you could share a story like that. You smile like one come to mind, huh?
Well, look, I could talk for days. My work ethic and my motor, I've been blessed. I don't know if it's I sometimes I call it a curse, because I don't know when to stop sometimes, and I'm highly driven, and I just feel like you know you need that, but all the experience and all the experience, all the technical expertise, all the, business knowledge that I had when I started Astro Roofing, I was like, this is going to be so easy. I mean, I've
Mm,
seen idiots and succeed at the highest levels, and I'm way smarter than them. And I'm going to kill this. Right. And I could not have been so wrong. I mean, it gave me so much more respect for those guys I thought were idiots running these companies that I had worked for before, because um, when you're looking at it from the other side as an owner, it's definitely a lot different, and it's not for the faint of heart. Again, I'm going to tell you a story real quick that just happened to us recently, and it was tough, man. It I wouldn't say it almost put me out of business, but it definitely put us in a tough spot, financially. It put us in a really tough spot for a little bit of time until we settled it. But we were on a large roofing project, and it was two phases. It was a flat roof and then some shingle or a tile roof that surrounded the flat roof. And when we did the flat roof first, and when we did the flat roof, we had to like do some work into the tile section to kind of like tie them together. And when we were working on that tile section, which we knew was going to have to be done like a year later, we were explaining to the community that, there was a lot of termite damage, a lot of wood rot inside that area, and it was going to be a large project. It wasn't just going to be removing and replacing the roof. Well, we got an engineer involved. We had the engineer evaluate the structural integrity of the building on the tile section. And he came back and basically told the community that they should just tear it all down and start from scratch, that tile section. And they didn't want to listen to him, right? So they hired their own engineer. And come a year later, we get into it, and now they want us to do the tile section. So it just coincidentally happens that I'm in Georgia on a baseball trip with my kids when this starts. I mean, we started it right as I was leaving, and probably 2 or 3 days into it as I was leaving. And then I was gone for 10 days. I come back, and takes me about 2 days to get out to the job, trying to catch up. Takes me about, I didn't get back, like, I didn't get there the first day. Like the second day I'm back, I get out to the job. And I just see the same thing I saw a year before.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
The engineer was letting us proceed, and I just felt like the engineer didn't really know what he was talking about, and he was he wasn't presenting the truth to the community. I feel like because he was just stringing them along so he could make his money. Um, so I get out there, I look, I say, hey, this ain't right to our guys. I tell my guys to shut it down. I call an emergency meeting with the community and with the engineer. And I think that happens the very next day. We get out there. The engineer is it's not the actual engineer, but an engineer assistant has been out there. I didn't want to get her in trouble, so I call her over and I ask her some questions about what I was seeing, that I felt like wasn't right. And she's like, yeah, I see what you're saying. Then she calls her boss over. Her boss comes over, and I'm like, look, I mean, to me, this whole thing's got to go. I mean, we can't we can't just put a roof on this. All this has got to go. And he looks at it, he's like, yeah, I think you're right. Let's shut down the job, and we'll let you know. We'll get back to you. So, and I have a contract, an ironclad contract with these guys, but they call me back in like a week or two, and I'm in the middle of this job. I mean, it's literally like, I'm not even sure if it's watertight, but it's not watertight for long, because I'm thinking we're going to go for a couple of days and come back. I mean, they can't shut the job down, right? So like 2 weeks goes by, the job hasn't started back up. We're waiting to hear what's going on. I'm calling them every day. They call me and they say, look, we just want you to pack your stuff up and get off the job, and we don't want you to come back. And I'm like, hold on a second. That's not how this works. What are you talking about? Make a long story short, they wanted to fire us for convenience, not because of any work that we did, but there was a clause in our contract, a clause in every contract that we have. It's called termination for convenience by the owner. That's what he wanted to do, but he didn't want to follow the clause in the contract that said you had to pay me based on if you want to do this or not. Now if he was trying to fire us or get us off the job for performance reasons or shoddy work or something like that, or shoddy product, then that's different. But he just wanted us to leave because he wanted to try to find somebody that could do this work for him a lot cheaper than we were going to. And, it drug out for probably about 6 months. I mean, they owed us a few $100,000, probably maybe as much as almost 500,000. It was between $400,000 and $500,000. And, we argued it out, and I ended up having to settle for less than that. But I think I still came out on the good end of it. And, I go by there a year later and it's done, so, somebody did some shoddy work there, and again, when you're most concerned about cost rather than quality in roofing, it's like kind of going and finding the cheapest guy to give you heart surgery, or
Yeah.
finding the cheapest to put brakes on your car. I mean, it's really not what you're looking for, right? I mean, everybody thinks it's about price. It's not about price. It's about, what you're getting, and in that situation, it was tough because we were trying to do the right thing. We were trying to be forthcoming. We were trying to be clear. I mean, we were trying to be proactive. We let them know everything that was going on, but but you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So, even though I felt like we did everything we were supposed to do, and we were, on the up and up, it still didn't work out totally in our favor. I mean, we'd have been better off doing the job and finishing the job, obviously, but, it was definitely a lesson to be learned there.
Yeah, yeah. No, man, listen, Jason, thank you for the story. Listen, I know you said you try to do the right thing. You absolutely did the right thing. And sometimes doing the right thing hurts, right? But I know for a fact that you're doing the right thing when you did has set you up for long-term success, right? It set you up for long-term stability. Yeah, it may hurt in the moment, but
Yes.
I think and that's going to be their problem. They're going to run into some problems some years down the road, and you know that. In this way, your integrity is still intact. Yes, it may cost you some money, but I think your integrity is going to make sure you actually make that money back, probably tenfold. And so you
Yes.
absolutely did the right thing, man. And so let me ask you this, and I love it. I think this is a good time to ask. What's the next real goal for Astro Roofing? Like, what are you looking to solve or scale next? What's the next real goal?
Well, I think we'll do 15 million next year. That would be our highest year. It looks like that we'll probably, we got a good chance of getting there. And once we hit that goal, 25 is the next goal, so uh, our goal every year is to just grow. We've managed to accomplish that every year, but like two, so we've been in business for 10 years. We've grown 8 of those years, and we've recessed in 2 of those years. So we've done pretty well. One of the times we actually did that, I did it on purpose. The last time we did it was not on purpose, and it was a painful lesson, so, but, but yeah, the growth is the thing. And when you're new in business and there's nothing but growth, that's easy. But when you hit the 10 and 15 and 20 million dollar mark, I mean, you've already exercised a lot of these things that have gotten you the growth. And you can't squeeze any more blood from that rock, so you have to find other avenues to try to create that revenue. And that's basically our biggest challenge, is trying to find ways to shake those bushes. First, we got to
Yeah,
find the bushes, got to shake the bushes, and then we got to see what's in the bushes.
yeah,
So it's a whole
absolutely.
process and a strategy, and it's something that we actively pursue.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Listen, I think one of the last questions I want to ask, because 4 years of generation within your bloodline, you treat your team like you treat them like partners. So I want to talk to you about relationships a little bit and how you value relationships. And so when it comes to building relationships and growing your network, what's made the biggest difference for you?
Well, I always say profit follows relationships. I think that's the main problem with business today, is people would rather sacrifice a relationship for profit. And you can do that for a little while, but pretty soon you're going to run out of relationships. And I can tell you, if you go out on a desert island, you're not going to make a lot of money. So
Come on, man.
you want to surround yourself with good people and good relationships, and that includes in business and the people you're giving energy to every day. I mean, you don't really. There's a good saying that if you hang out with 5 idiots, you'll be the sixth idiot. If you hang around with 5 millionaires, you'll probably be the sixth millionaire. So surround yourself with good people. Value your relationships. That's another thing. I feel like people don't give enough energy to the relationships they have. Everybody's an acquaintance, and
Yeah,
that's cool. But if you really reach out and into people's lives and try to affect them in a positive way, I can tell you that's going to come back to you tenfold. If you're just going to, just be superficial in your relationships, it's not going to benefit you as much as it would if you really dug in. And that's
yeah.
just common sense.
Yes, sir. Man, listen, sir, I appreciate you. I think you have dropped a ton of gems and given a ton of value to this episode for people to actually pick from and glean from. So listen, Jason, before we wrap, man, if someone wanted to reach out to you, connect with you, collaborate with you, what's the best way for them to reach out to you, sir?
I mean, they can always hit me up at my email, astroroofing@gmail.com, or the letter J, Blair, Blair, at astroroofing.com. It's Astro with 2 A's. Before we take off, though, I really want to talk about our covering the community program. I was going to talk about that a little bit earlier, but we kind of transitioned away from it. We do this program, and we're trying to create awareness for it, where we give roofing services and construction services to people in need that can't afford it but maybe deserve it. So we've rolled out this program. We're about to put on our first roof. We're just going through permitting right now with a young lady who nominated her mom. The young woman had become homeless. She had 5 children, 2 grandbabies. The mom took them all in. The husband had gotten some type of accident where he hurt his back. He couldn't work for like a year or so. Heartbreaking and touching story. And when I go over there to interview him, I mean, the ceilings are caving in the house. I mean, it's a nice house too. I mean, in a nice neighborhood, and she keeps it nice. So it's not like the house is, bad. It's just it has a leaky roof, and they don't have the money to fix it. And they've really been struggling to try to find a way to make this happen. They've had some temporary repairs done up there, but the roof is basically past its life. And this is something that I've always done for people that I kind of known, friends and family, but I've never really rolled it out to the public, to people I haven't known. But at the beginning of this year, when we were trying to find a creative way to spend our marketing money, I was like, you know what? Let's do something cool. Let's try to find a way that, I mean, and yes, it's marketing, 1000%. Yes, we're creating awareness for the program. Potentially that would create awareness for our company. That's a great thing if that happens. But the real thing for the program isn't for the marketing. It's really, I mean, we're going to spend the money in marketing anyways. It's
Yeah.
really because I felt like we have done so well that, and when I first like started making this kind of money, I went out, I bought Corvettes, I bought big Jeeps, I bought big gold chains and Rolexes, and
Yeah. Yeah.
took my wife on crazy vacations. I mean, I did so much stuff, and I did a lot of charity stuff too, but I felt like I was still missing out on, doing some good, and I wanted to find a way that I could reach directly into the community. So we've always done like youth sports stuff. But we started digging in more to like local youth sports organizations, because I really
Yeah.
feel like that was a good place to put our money. Again, it's advertising, but it's doing cool stuff with your advertising
Absolutely.
dollars. So I feel like, giving it to Google and Facebook, that's awesome if that's what you're going to do. And everybody kind of needs to do that. And we're going to do that regardless.
Yeah.
But I feel like, we were able to allocate some of that money to do some good feeling, like community stuff. And
Yeah.
I think, to me, like when I sat down and decided to do that roof for these people, I was like bursting with pride. I mean,
Yeah.
I felt like, it was like God was showing me, like God's telling me, like, this is what you should be doing. Like, I
Yes,
mean, like
sir.
slap me upside my head and see, this
Yes,
is what you do
sir.
right here. So, to me, I want to put on more roofs like that. I don't want to give away free roofs. That's not the point. What I want is, I want to find people that are deserving of this, and they can't afford it, and I hope it inspires other contractors to kind of do the same thing, to try to do a similar program. I
Yeah.
challenge another contractor out there to do the same thing.
Mm. Man, thank you so much for taking time out to mention that initiative, that program, that servitude. You say God hit you upside the head, and that's one thing I know about God. He always wants us to serve our people, and so to hear you put yourself out there with that servitude, that servant's heart. Man, I applaud you and applaud your business, and you're doing it the right way, brother. And so, thank you so much,
Appreciate
man.
that.
Listen, thank you so much just for being here. Thank you for your time, your story, your perspective. We definitely need more people like you in this space. And Mr. Jason, this was awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming through.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. It was awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. So listen, y'all got the value from Mr. Jason Blair. Check him out, see how you can get involved with what he's doing. And also make sure you subscribe to our channel. We're going to continue to bring up awesome people just like Mr. Jason. And we don't want you to miss it. And so, Mr. Jason, thank you so much again. And to everyone else, we will see you on the next time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.